How do you feel when somebody approaches you and they make a nice comment of affirmation to you? They say something that just affirms their appreciation of who you are to them. Words of affirmation are extremely important in relationships. Unfortunately, they are not highly utilized. So I would like us to look at communication using affirmation words. Obviously, my hope is that you will learn to appreciate and use words of affirmation in your relationship. Proverbs 15 verse 3, one of my favorite texts in scripture, has these words. A man has joy in giving an appropriate answer. And how good and delightful is a word spoken at the right moment. How good it is. Speaking words of affirmation in relationship is something we need to constantly cultivate because it is magic. There are words that are magical in nature when you use them. And for today, for this short presentation, I'm looking at the words of affirmation. Someone might even ask, what are words of affirmation? Let me share with you some of the words of affirmation. I asked men, I said, men, tell me, what words do you love to hear from your wives that affirm your relationship? Out of the men that I asked, 31 of them mentioned the first one was when she says to me, I love you. This phrase, I love you, is a magical word. This word affirms someone's commitment to the relationship in which they are. Look at how women responded. 39 of them. The first phrase that they said they love when they hear it from their spouse is, I love you. I love you. So, hey, what are we talking about here? I am encouraging you to develop the habit of using affirmation words, words that affirm your commitment to somebody, relationships. The other responses that came were, I love you, sugar. I love you, my sugar. The other one was, I love you, sweetie. And the other one was, I love you, baby. This other one came from an elderly person who has been in a relationship for a long time. I love you, honey. I love you, honey. It is important in relationships to cultivate the habit of using words of affirmation, affirming your relationship with those that you love. You will be surprised that when you use words of affirmation in relationship, they are magical. When the other person hears you, and I hope you are genuine, you just don't have to say it when you don't mean it. But when you mean it, you say to somebody, I love you, sweetie, I love you, honey. That does something to them that is so magical and so beautiful. So why don't you start right now? Start affirming people, telling them you love them, especially people you are in a relationship. By the way, it doesn't matter whether it is your son, your daughter, your father, your mother. When you say, I love you, mom, I love you, dad, I love you, son, I love you, sweetie, that thing makes just the whole world go round. May the Lord bless us.